Good morning. I'm happy to be able to read you a book today. It is called How Rocket Learned to Read. I've never read this book, but perhaps you have and we can read it together. So this is all about, it looks like a puppy. Rocket loved to play. He loved to chase leaves and chew sticks. He loved to listen to the birds sing. Do you guys have a puppy at home? This is Rocket. He's kind of white with black spots. Every fall morning after chasing leaves, Rocket would lie down in his favorite spot under his favorite tree. There he'd sniff the neighborhood smells and settle in for a good nap. But one day, a little yellow bird startled Rocket. "Aha! My first student! Wonderful," she sang. Rocket was confused. "Student? I'm not a—" "But if I am your teacher," the bird interrupted, "then you must be my student." Rocket found it hard to argue with this bird. See the little bird on his head? How would you like a bird to land on your head when you're taking a nap? It'd startle you too. "I'm so glad you saw my sign," the bird chirped. "Oh yes, I can see it," Rocket said, "but I don't know how to read." "Can't read? Fantastic," she waved a wing. "Welcome to my classroom." "But I just came here to nap," Rocket said. "Oh, no, 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 there'll be no napping in class," declared the bird, "except, of course, during nap time." "Well then, I can take a nap over here," said Rocket. "I've had a very busy morning." "Not to worry, I'll be around every day," chirped the bird, "until the weather turns." I'm not so sure he's excited about learning how to read. What do you think? As Rocket breathed in the crisp air, the little yellow bird hung her banner. "Ah, the wondrous, mighty, gorgeous alphabet," she marveled. "Where it all begins. Look at what the bird has done. She's strung up the alphabet all the way from A through Z. I wonder if she's going to sing Rocket the alphabet song. Maybe?" Opening up a book, the bird began to read. She sang out the story of an unlucky dog named Buster who'd lost his favorite bone. A cool breeze carried her lively voice across the yard. At first, Rocket was disturbed. So he was busy taking his nap, and he didn't really want to hear the bird singing. But before long, he found himself captivated. To Rocket, the story was as delicious as the earthly smells of fall. It was as exciting as chasing leaves. He closed his eyes and listened to every word. As Buster dug and dug under the lilac bush, the bird read, he felt something familiar. Rocket waited. Was it the bone, he wondered? Silence. Was it the bone, he called to the bird? More silence. Was it the bone? Rocket hollered. Suddenly he was rushing to the tree. Well, was it? But the little bird, yellow bird, was gone. Oh, he's got that bone on his mind. The next morning, Rocket arrived early. At last, the little yellow bird appeared. "Hello! How wonderful to see you in class," she chirped. "I can tell by your waggy tail that you are well rested." "I'd like to hear the end of the story, please," said Rocket. "That seems like a fine way to start the day," chirped the bird. She gave Rocket a name tag and began to read. Now he's really interested in what happened to Buster. Every day, Rocket returned to the little yellow bird's classroom. In the morning, the bird taught him a new letter until he had learned all of the wondrous, mighty, gorgeous alphabet. Together they sang out the sounds that each letter makes and spelled the sounds they heard around them. With a G and many R's, they spelled Mr. Barker's growl. What do you think that would be? Grrr! Oh, look at the little yellow bird hiding behind him. They spelled the sound of the wind, which was growing colder by the day. Whoosh. Can you just hear that cold wind? Fortunately, we're coming into spring, so we don't have to worry about winter coming. Soon they were spelling words like fall, F-A-L-L, for the gusty time of the year, and red for the color of the leaves. Do you know how to spell red? R-E-D. And each afternoon, the bird read a story. She read stories about dogs and birds. She read about leaves changing colors and about birds flying south for the winter. But we're not seeing birds flying south, are we? Which direction are our birds flying now? If you look up into the sky, you might see some geese, maybe some ducks, and they're not flying south, they're flying north to see us. But back to the story. Then one day the weather turned and the little banner disappeared. See you again in the glorious spring, the bird sang. And as she flew into the wintry sky, she called, don't forget, words are built one letter at a time. See, she's flying south because she's going to warmer weather because in this story, winter's coming. The days grew shorter and the leaves fell from the trees. The grass became crunchy. Soon Rocket's classroom disappeared under the snow. He remembered the little yellow bird's alphabet and practiced his letters. A, B, C. Rocket thought about the bird's sweet chirp while he sounded out words like dig, dig, D-I-G, and wind, W-I-N-D, and cold, C-O-L-D. He made new friends and spelled their names. Hello, Emma. E-M-M-A. Hi there, Fred. F-R-E-D. He spelled everything. Sun, S-U-N, melt, M-E-L-T. When Rocket spelled mud, he knew what? He knew that spring, as it always does, had returned. If you go outside, I'm sure you're going to find some mud, and you would spell that M-U-D. The breeze blew warmer, the grass grew greener, and a sign appeared. Do you know what that sign was? Look! Class starts tomorrow. Look at that green grass and those flowers popping up. Spring has arrived. He's so excited, and so are we. We all love to see spring after a long winter. Early the next morning, Rocket rushed to his classroom. As he waited, he spelled wag. Can you spell wag? W-A-G. Soon the little bird arrived. Aha! My star student, she sang. How wonderful to see you. I can tell by your waggy tail that you are ready for class. Look at, he's so ready for class. The bird is sitting on his nose. And the sign says, what does the class sign, the sign say? Welcome back, Rocket. She's so happy to see him. He's so happy to see her. Now he can learn some more. Then together they began to read. They read stories about birds flying north in the spring. They read about picnics in the warm sun. And they read about Buster, the lucky dog who found his bone under the lilac bush. See, they're both reading, just like what we're doing today. And when they were done, they read it again and again and again. A-G-A-I-N. Well, thank you for listening to this story and reading along with me today. It was the first time I've ever read this book, and I kind of liked it. Well, we'll have to say goodbye to Rocket and the little yellow bird. Have a good day.